Hello you guys, welcome back to As Told by Kenya. In today's video, it is a Kenya Has Thoughts, but it is a Kenya Has Thoughts about the music industry in 2024. Whose albums am I looking forward to? How do I feel about certain artists? Let's dip our toe in on certain artists and see what's going to happen in 2024, what I wish to happen, and all of that. The first person who made it on my list was actually SZA. I was sitting at home one day and Snooze started playing. It started playing on shuffle. And I was just like, oh, Snooze by SZA. And then I saw an article that Snooze hit some big milestone on radio or charting or something like that. And I'm just like, why is no one discussing how successful SZA is? And not only how successful SZA is, but how successful SZA is despite the odds. There has not been a time in a very, very long time since an R&B artist has able to break mainstream in the way that SZA has been able to break mainstream. And that I would go even further to say that a lot of Black women in the music industry have made pop records, and that has given them crossover ability leaning into pop records, and we love them for it. But SZA doesn't necessarily make a lot of pop records. Yes, SZA does experimental R&B, and some of her music can lean towards pop, but I don't think you really listen to most of SZA's songs and not get an R&B feel. They all feel like R&B. This new R&B that SZA did help usher in. SZA has a lot of sons, and a lot of people now follow this sound that SZA has been able to make mainstream, and she does not get her credit for being able to do this when no one else really is to her magnitude. SZA tours well, because that's a big thing. A lot of times the girls can have hit records, hit albums, and all this stuff, but they can't sell out a venue to save their life. SZA tours well. SZA sells well. SZA's album, when it came out, was just below Beyonce's album Renaissance and debut sales. Let's talk about it, right? And then also SZA charts well. SZA's albums stay on the chart. SZA puts songs in the top 10 of Billboard. And then SZA streams well as well. And then it seems like SZA is able to do this without this big team or machine. We constantly hear SZA talking about how much she doesn't like the team that is behind her. So with the lack of support from a team, with the lack of, I think, a big industry push, SZA has been able to do a lot of fucking shit. And that is just by having her pulse on the culture. SZA has become a mouthpiece for a generation. I would say late Gen Zers and early millennials, mid to early millennials. That is SZA's pocket. And you want to know the craziest thing? SZA only has 2 real albums. SZA only has 2 real albums. The fact that she was able to eat off of Control for as long as she did before she put out SOS is crazy. So I am just sitting here to say that we need to discuss what SZA is doing as a Black woman and how it seemed like after, you get the Beyoncés, you get the Rihannas, and you do have other R&B girls here, that it just seemed like there wasn't a space for an R&B artist to really break through, because you have Rihanna does pop, Beyonce does R&B and pop, and it felt like we were out of this era where a strictly R&B artist could become a main girl. And SZA was able to do that. Of course, you're going to have the people in the comments, I hear you. SZA doesn't only do R&B, of course, SZA, but that just shows you the versatility of SZA. That SZA is able to do these R&B records as well as dabble into pop a little bit. SZA also doesn't put herself in a box, I could also go on to say some nice things about Summer Walker as well. Summer Walker is another person doing R&B who is also, selling albums, charting pretty solidly. She's another person who I think also deserves credit for what they are able to do, because a lot of times people don't want to give Black girls nothing. People don't want to give Black girls nothing, and SZA has been able to take what is rightfully hers. So I want to start this by being 2 snaps to SZA, and also that is that's why I believe SZA should win Album of the Year at the Grammys, because I just think there's a time to give SZA her things. There's a time, and I just feel like SZA should have something to represent the success that SZA has been able to have, and I think she should get it. The next thing, and back to the music. Will SZA give y'all a project this year? I don't know. Word on the street, like maybe y'all might get a mixtape or something. I don't know how all that work, but we can move on to Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish has What Was I Made For, which was a song for Barbie. It plays like at the end of Barbie, you know how that goes. And it's gonna be nominated for an Oscar. I believe it should be nominated for an Oscar. It actually upsets me that Billie already has an Oscar for the song she did for 007, for the song she did for Bond, because What Was I Made For is just such a better song. It is such a better song. It fits into the movie better. Like, this, Billie deserves this Oscar. I have no problem with her having the Oscar before. I really don't care. But she deserves this. The song fits so perfectly into the movie. It's so Billie. It's so Billie, because I feel like the song before for Bond is such a Bond song. It's such a Bond song. You do the Bond song, you get the Oscar for the Bond song. You know how that go. But this is just so, it has Billie's hands all over. It's a good song. It fits with the movie. It's perfect. It deserves the Oscar. But that's actually not what I'm coming on here to say. Since all of y'all are having this like Billie so great moment, I want you all to get on your phones and go listen to Happier Than Ever. I will scream this to the rooftops. Y'all did not give Happier Than Ever, the album, what it deserved. You have the songs that did do well on that. You have Happier Than Ever, the title track, which did blow up and become a hit for Billie. But like, that album is so good. I think it's by far Billie's best project. And so when I see how many people like What Was I Made For, I'm just like, Happier Than Ever has songs like this. Like Male Fantasy, Getting Older, like she has songs like this on that album. Haley's Comment, like NDA, like there's so many good songs on Happier Than Ever, and I just feel like y'all gave that album the blues, and I don't know why. I do not know why. I think people need to go revisit that album. Here's the thing, I think it was the singles. Maybe something went wrong with the single. We did have a bunch of singles that came out. Like, we had My Future that came out at some point. Your Power came out before the album came out. That other song, You Got No Job, that song came out. Like, there's like 4 songs that came out before we even got the album. So I get like it might have got a little confusing for the girls, but that album is good. I think it's Billie's best work. And so if you like What Was I Made For, which I do, I think you should go listen to Happier Than Ever, because there are some good songs on Happier Than Ever. That brings me, and by the way, I say all this to say I want a Billie project in 2024. Another person who needs to come to the front in 2024 is Lorde. I'm going to say something, and I already hear the girls booing in the back. This is probably one of my most unpopular music opinions of the past few years. I think Solar Power by Lorde is Lorde's best album. I say this on Twitter all the time. Every time I post a link to a song I'm listening to from Solar Power, I think Solar Power by Lorde is Lorde's best album. And I hear the melodrama stands in the rafters. Y'all booing, y'all throwing tomatoes at me. And fair. I understand that Solar Power isn't for everyone. It's not. I don't think it's intended to be for everyone. I just think when Lorde put out Solar Power, people were expecting things to sound more melodrama, and I think people kind of put her in a box. And because the minute you turn on Solar Power, the album, it's not that. It's airier, it's bluesy. It's the same thing with Happier Than Ever. Just airier, there's more time to breathe, And so I think people kind of were turned away from that, but I adore Solar Power by Lorde. It's one of those albums that I think get better with continuous listens. My favorite songs on that album is California, Stoned at the Nail Salon. There's another one. Hold up. The best song on that album is Secrets from the Girl. Oh yes. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. The heat is unbearable until you face it. Like the ending of that song is so good. Like, oh my gosh, I could rant about how much I love that album because I just think it's so unique. It's such a unique song. Something about it feels early 2000s. Like, I don't know. I really, really like that. So I say that to say in 2024, I would also like a new Lorde album. And I hope we allow Lorde to express herself. I feel like because of, people kind of being cold on Solar Power, she's going to move back to more of her older sound, which is fine because Solar Power exists. And so that's fine. But I'm all for artists moving forward. Speaking of moving forward, Ariana Grande, I believe we are going to get an Ariana Grande project in 2024. Ariana Grande is coming back for her crown, and I'm excited. I am curious to see what this Ariana Grande project sounds like. Let me tell it. I think with positions you get like this R&B, then you have Sweetener, which is my favorite Ariana Grande album. I'm curious to see what Ariana Grande does with this. I'm curious to see what Ariana Grande is going to talk about. Ariana Grande has been very quiet. She kind of, quit social media. She has been very quiet. I'm curious to see what headspace Ariana Grande is in with music. I trust Ariana Grande's taste. That's the thing. When it comes to certain artists, you can't really trust their taste. I trust Ariana Grande's taste. I trust that Ariana Grande is going to put a good project together and she's going to move forward. I don't like artists that are stagnant. It bothers me when an artist's album sounds like their last album. That's why you're going to get me loving Happier Than Ever, me loving Solar Power. I like things to move forward. Like what Jay-Z say, you want to hear my old shit, buy my old albums. Like I can go listen to your old albums if I want to hear the same goddamn shit again. Like give me more. And I trust that Ariana Grande is going to keep on pushing forward. So I'm curious. We have a more mature Ariana Grande. We have an Ariana Grande in her 30s. I am curious to see what headspace we're going to get into. And then Ariana Grande doesn't necessarily really make music like about her headspace. Ariana Grande is going to give you some bops, baby. And so I'm curious to see will that change? Will that evolve? I'm excited. That's the thing I think 100% is going to happen. A 2024 Ariana Grande album. And I am going to be there for what we know is coming is Usher. Usher is going to put out a new album. And here is the thing. You know how I said I trust Ariana Grande's taste? I don't trust Usher's taste in new music. I think Usher is absolutely amazing. I wanted Usher to do the Super Bowl. I think Usher is going to absolutely kill the Super Bowl. And I think Usher has made absolutely fantastic music. Fantastic music. I think Usher has made visionary music, honestly, and many times. But I think his last few projects, they just haven't been for me. Maybe they're for someone, but they haven't been for me. Also, the music he does with other people is also not for me. And so Usher with this new project, I hate the cover. If the cover with him and the peach, if that's the cover of the album, chop it. I do not like it. This goes back to trusting Usher's taste. I think Usher can be progressive. That's what I want to say. I think Usher can be progressive. I think sometimes Usher with his new music gets caught on the same hamster wheel going, keeping on going in the same circle. But I think Usher is capable of making music that moves R&B forward. He is capable of making the best R&B music that anyone is making. Usher's voice sometimes I feel like is too good. Usher's mind is too good. Usher is too good of an artist for some of the music that I feel like Usher makes sometimes recently. And so with this project, I want Usher to lean into what Usher likes, Usher's sound, Usher's taste, and Usher's instincts. That's what I don't want Usher to hear what's out there and what other people are making in the music other people know. I want Usher to lean into the music Usher wants to make and Usher's instincts, because I think Usher has good instincts, and that's what I want him to do. I want him to get in the studio with people who also have good taste, and I think Usher can make a brilliant album. But we will see, because I know that's controversial. I know it's controversial, but Usher new music don't be doing nothing for me. Every now and then I do like a song, but it's every now and then. And I just think his older music is just far better. And I just think that it doesn't have to be that way. Usher has too much talent for it to be that way. So I think we can go. Meg Thee Stallion better give us an album in 2024. Meg Thee Stallion better give us an album in 2024. I am so curious. I want more bars from Megan. I still love Cobra, by the way. If I had to make a list of some of my favorite songs of 2024, Cobra would be on it. I want a Meg Thee Stallion album like I want a Breathe Child. Like, I need it in me. Another person I'm curious if they're gonna come. Is Cardi gonna come? Is Cardi gonna come in 2024? It is so crazy that we do not have a sophomore album from Cardi. Cardi has been doing the features with people. She did some stuff with Offset, but I'm curious if we're going to get a Cardi album in 2024. And if we are, I am so curious to hear, because we've been getting a lot of features from Cardi. I'm very curious to hear what like a taste. It's all about when you get an album from an artist, you get to hear what their taste is. You get to hear what is driving them, what is moving them. And I'm so curious to know what Cardi's taste is at the moment. What does Cardi see for herself as a rapper? I'm interested to hear solo songs from Cardi, like how that works. I'm curious. We haven't heard a Cardi project since 2018 fully, so I'm very, very curious about all of that. Another person who need to come to the front is my mother, Beyonce. There's two things I want from Beyonce in 2024. Number one, a live album. You guys do not understand how bad. There's two songs from the Renaissance World Tour that I want to hear on a live album. Flaws and All. What Beyonce does with Flaws and All during the Renaissance Tour is so fucking good. I want to hear that so bad in my ear. And secondly, Cozy. I gotta hear Cozy live. I have to hear that in my ear. I need, like, you guys don't understand. I need it so damn bad. So that is what I need from her. But then, so live album needs to come. I don't understand why it didn't come when the movie dropped. That's what's so curious to me. Beyonce is just so curious to me. Another thing I need from Beyonce is Act 2. Don't promise me 3 acts and then sit here and renege. Nah, don't renege. Nah, it's time. Isn't it crazy? In July, we are going to be looking at what? 2 years? Since Renaissance came out. Renaissance came out in 2020 what? Renaissance came out in 2022. We're going to be looking at 3 years. 2 years. We're going to be looking at 2 years since Renaissance came out. That is absolutely insane. Time is moving entirely too fast. But I need Act 2. I need Act 2. Another person, I'm always curious to get into the mind of Beyonce. Speaking of getting into the mind of Beyonce, My House, yeah, she did her big one. She did. I listened to My House when it first came out, and I was like, this is good. This is good. In the past month, I know My House is my most listened to song. There is something about that Renaissance, the revolution. There is something about that like gets my soul to rising. It gets my, I'm hearing whispers that I'm hearing. There is something about, there's something in there that speaks to my soul. I don't know what that is. Like, I'll be like, oh my God. Oh my God. I was literally about to talk about this on my podcast, on my Patreon, but I'll talk about it here. I have become a My House stan overnight. Overnight, I have become a My House stan. I am so gagged. Another person I want a project from is Lady Gaga. I want a project from Lady Gaga. I want a good, campy project from Lady Gaga. I really, really do. So I'm interested to see if we can see Gaga come in 2024. Gaga could be focusing on her acting. Is the Joker 2 movie a real movie? Is the Joker 2 movie a real movie? So she could be focused on that. I do not know, but I do want. We have some old reliables. Dua Lipa is my old reliable. Dua has good taste. I do not expect Dua to put out a project and it be bad. I trust Dua and I trust her taste. So Dua Lipa, I think, should be coming in 2024. I'm excited about that. Someone who needs to come and redeem themselves to me is Maggie Rogers. I did not like Maggie Rogers' last album, and it's so crazy because the year that it came out in 2022, it was one of my most anticipated albums to come out. But when it came out, I was a little lukewarm on it. So Maggie Rogers low-key, if you care about me, doll, need to come in 2024 and give me an album I want. Another person who I am so curious to hear from is Tyler. Make me water her. I am so curious to hear from Tyler in 2024. The same way I said, like, a SZA has broken through, a Summer Walker, I believe, has broken through. I think Tyler can break through, and Tyler can break through, I think, on that realm in the way Rihanna broke through, giving us pop records, but also leaning into the R&B. I am so curious to see what Tyler is able to do. I'm so curious to hear how the album is going to sound. I want to hear from Tyler. I want to see the performances from Tyler. Tyler is a good live performer. I am so curious to see what is going to come. Another person I want some stuff from, I want Bruno Mars. I know the girls get to boo when you say you enjoy Bruno Mars music. I enjoy Bruno Mars music a lot. I saw Bruno Mars in concert. I thought he was absolutely amazing. I'm curious to see what Bruno Mars is going to do in 2024, if he's going to do anything. The Anderson .Paak stuff really didn't move me in no way. In no way, shape, or form. That just was not for me, and that's okay. But I do want a solo project from Bruno Mars. We have not gotten a solo project from Bruno Mars since 2016. 2016 was the last time we got a solo project from Bruno Mars, or did I make that up? I don't think I made that up, friends. I don't think I made that up. So I want that there. Jasmine Sullivan, would it be too much for me to ask for an album from you in 2024? Like late 2024? Late 2024 maybe? I want Jasmine Sullivan to come. Tinashe, if I had to make a list of my favorite songs of 2024, number one, 2023, number one would be Tinashe Needs. I love that song. On My Mama by Victoria Monet would probably be two, but Needs by Tinashe was my favorite song of last year, and Tinashe is gonna have to give me more. That little EP she tried to disguise as an album, need more, doll. You're gonna have to come for a little bit more. So I would like Tinashe to drop something maybe towards the end, maybe give us an October type vibe, an October type beat. I would love that. But Tinashe is going on tour, and you can bet your bottom dollar that I will be there. Next thing I want to happen in 2024, I want ChloeXHalle to get back together and give us an album. I will take at least them getting back together and being in the studio and letting us know a new album is going. I will always say this, and y'all can say what you want to say in the comments. Chloe and Halle are better together. They are good. They are unstoppable together. They are trendsetters together. Chef's kiss together. I want a Chloe and Halle album. I want it together, and I want to eat, damn it. I want to eat, damn it. People who y'all may not, don't get your hopes up, Rihanna. I go back and forth because I don't want to seem stupid. My heart of heart tells me y'all ain't never getting another Rihanna album. Y'all ain't never getting another Rihanna album. But then, like, if she puts out an album, I'm going to look stupid, right, saying something like that. You're going to be like, listen to you, shut your ass up, right? But I don't think Rihanna's going to give y'all another album. Frank Ocean, isn't it crazy? I've been a Frank Ocean stan since Nostalgia Ultra. Isn't it crazy? If you would have told me when Nostalgia Ultra dropped, I would be sitting in 2024 and only have 2 Frank Ocean albums, I would tell you Frank Ocean would have at least dropped 4 albums by then. If you told me 13 years we would only have 2 Frank Ocean albums, it's silly at this point. It's silly at this point. But you know what? I'm always going to be here for the crumbs. I'm always going to be here for the crumbs. So there's that on that. I'm excited about that. Lil Nas X. I want a project from Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X just brings a fun to my life. My life is more fun when Lil Nas X is dropping albums. I don't know what it is. Like hearing Lil Nas X on the radio when I get into my damn car. Like, I don't know. It's just a good vibe. I want an album from Lil Nas X. The person I want to stop making music in 2024 is Drake. They got enough. The streets got enough. The streets got enough, Drake. You can chill out for a little bit. And anyways, those are my music opinions. That's who I'm excited for in 2024. And let's see how this all goes. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.